Okie dokie, welcome here. Welcome to everybody. And I think even Mincy's jumping on with us now. Ben, hello. How are you? You okay?
I'm great, man. Yeah, very good. Very excited. Excited to be here and meet.
Oh, you should be. No, you genuinely.
I made the cut, finally.
Well, I mean, look, let's be honest, Ben, and I have to be really honest and hold my hands up and say it would have looked a little bit odd considering you've obviously helped build our site if you'd also been our first provider on as well, wouldn't it?
I'm just delighted to be here, and I've thoroughly been enjoying the show. And I just suddenly realised that David, I mean, we met live at some event back in the days where you could do live events. But I feel like I know you really well because normally at midnight I'm dialing into the Kerfuffle show and just sucking it all up. And, it's been really enjoyable.
So you're the guy that's been watching the show.
Yeah, it's me. All the hearts, all the love hearts flying through.
Yeah, I've heard of the watching hour. I don't know what the Kerfuffle podcast hour is.
It's definitely great to be able to watch it at that time of night. All the kids are in bed and the wife's asleep, and
Well, speaking of what you made it in bed time, we've got the wonderful Darren Hutchins, who's watching us from. It's got to be gone past midnight now in Melbourne. There, so we've got an international audience.
Fantastic!
We've got an international audience.
Brilliant.
It's all right. He's a shameless slut, so he as long as he gets read out, he keeps coming back for more. Ben, I want to deal with a couple of things up front. First of all, you are, let me just say, a little bit high maintenance because I asked that this is website month for Kerfuffle. Obviously, we worked on the basis that just like vendors, if they've gone into lockdown, not liking their homes, they're not going to like their homes any better during that process. So the reason we did websites was the same. We believed that estate agents, if they didn't like their websites before they went into lockdown, they weren't going to have felt any more comfortable, were they? Went sat with that as their main shop window, pretty much then and even now. But I've got to say, I asked you to come on board and do, we wanted to talk about estate agency websites, and you came back and you've scrubbed out websites on the description, and you've retitled it, unhelpfully, Estate Agent Web Apps for the Next Generation. So I need to understand, first of all, how you could be so dismissive and just kick it off and explain what was the main reason for doing that.
Yeah, well, that's... It's become my sort of disruptive opening line. We don't build websites anymore. We build web apps. And I think, primarily, I'm going to say that is a mindset that I want people to be in. So when people are coming to us, either our existing clients or new clients, they're coming in and they're saying, right, we need you to look at our website. And I say, come on, guys, what we really want to be doing here is looking at what do we want this thing to do? Now, the moment I mention to people things like Uber, Deliveroo, Trainline, and those kind of apps that we use all day long, and we just, they're just like part of our lives, for many, and, there's millions more. They're all connected, engaging little parts, little sort of apps that deliver results sort of instantaneously. They're connected. A lot of them have live data flowing back and forward. I think the key is data flowing back and forward. And so they're also presenting information. Apps are renowned for, on the successful ones, for presenting information simply and clearly with priorities in the right places, the right time. So it's really all I ever want people to do is start off with that mindset. It's like, why am I building this page? Homepage, search page, area guide, office page, people page. It doesn't matter which page of the site it is.
Yeah.
What's it doing for you? And how, when I'm on my phone, which all our clients were hitting 65% mobile traffic, where's the buttons? Where's the message? How clear can it be? And is it reacting with me in a sort of thoughtful, timely manner. So that's the sort of honest to God basis of why I've been saying that for the last year or two. I always caveat that with, I'm not specifically meaning an app as in Android, iOS, although for some of the bigger players, I think there is a place for it. I mean, obviously, dare we say the word right move these days, they've got enough action going on there to warrant you downloading an app, However, since I've been saying that line,
We've changed full position.
We have been driving towards actually looking at the sort of progressive app, which is, it's still a responsive website, but it's built in such a way that when you save that to your home screen, the browser's gone. And this whole thing is interacting with you in a very app-like manner. Driving
like Mobile Jet, Simon.
In Mobile Jet,
like Mobile Jet. So basically, it's an icon. It really is your browser pretending to be an app that sometimes works. That Simon built that. That's
right.
I wanted to give him the credit he deserves.
Well, if you can still see the URL bar, then it is pretending to be a web app. But if you can't, then
isn't that the key to it? That basically apps, it's all about how it's presented in terms of optimized for the platform that you're using. So on your phone, for instance, again, you're not going to see a URL. It means that the user can't play around, go to the wrong place. It's very much you push a button, you get to your location. Yeah. So it's optimized for the outcome, if you like. Yeah.
Yeah, you actually win back about a quarter of your browser or your space, because all those bars at the bottom and the bar at the top is actually stealing your real estate.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I think, whether it's a responsive website, a web app or whatever it is, the other really big thing, and you and I have spoke about it this week, Simon, it's what do all the others do? They actually communicate with you in a more real-time manner. So when you do something, the beauty of a native app is it's got all the benefits of, the notifications. So what we're trying to now do is really focus around building a notification system so that, of course, you'll get an email, but I mean, I don't look at my emails, like once a day, twice a day kind of thing. So that's not very timely when someone's just made me an offer or someone's just booked a viewing and I need, as the vendor or the landlord, to go, yeah, I'm happy with that. I accept that time. Or someone's given me feedback at 10 o'clock at night and I've been wondering all day whether the estate agent was ever going to call me. Well, so what we've done is we've now hooked in with SMS, which is a no-brainer, and for one of our flagship clients in Dubai, the Allsop team, Lewis and Carl, we built in a whole WhatsApp for Business system. And the beauty is that's come along a long way now. So not only can you have all notifications delivering those timely messages, any kind of alerts, which you can control as a user, what messages you want, how frequently you want them, and so on. But it's like a backup for agents. It's like this efficiency. I mean, all of us love ordering online and getting that text that says, Kevin is going to be with you in an hour, DPD or whatever. So why the hell is the biggest ticket item in our lives, being the properties we're buying, renting, whatever, not being treated in the same manner? So, a massive part of this whole web app thing is actually, come on, guys, let's get the WhatsApp notifications. In our world, I use Slack for everything. So everything pours into Slack. Now, that's probably not quite there in the sort of consumer world, but I think it will be. So, that's broadly it. But a lovely little sort of another kind of API integration-y thing was another thing I know that you love, Simon, that we've done in this lockdown period. My favorite thing is Calendly connecting to Zoom. Yeah, I mean, I've harped on about it, but literally I've just had an influx of people going, oh, that was so easy. It was free, for the basic account. Most people are now, upgrading to the paid account because they want the benefits of adding extra calendars in the case of Calendly. And in the case of Zoom, they're suddenly going, this is the future. Now I want recordings and I want transcripts. Now, that's just a bit of code that in our kind of microservice world, which famously is, the Repit foundations, for example, is all built on these microservices. And the whole concept around it is for us to connect with all these awesome prop tech firms that you're reviewing on a regular basis and actually better stitch them in pretty seamlessly, and equally so, unstitch them out, rather than this sort of monolithic, oh my God, how do we unravel that decision that we made? And like 18 months later, someone does it. So it's a whole new movement. I mean, it's not actually a new movement, by the way. It's quite an old movement, but I think it's all come along so much that, as you can probably tell from the tone of my voice, I am really excited by it. Because suddenly you can start tracking data, you can start delivering people stuff they want, and actually start triggering other things that they maybe didn't know they wanted, and it goes on.
So did I take from your tone when you were first describing it as apps that you were having a little bit of a pop though at the way that there is a lack of integration traditionally between different systems, isn't it? I mean, that has all, let's be honest, that has always been integration in our world for the better part of my first decade at Repit. Really meant a one-way export integration from us through to the likes of you, a very basic one out to the portals.
Property feed,
wasn't it?
That was APIs.
That was, yeah.
If you were lucky.
We used to talk about flexible APIs because you could have then customized fields and, different quality of images. But really, that's how bland the flavor was. And of course, what got everyone caught out was that explosion of prop tech in particular, which suddenly didn't have the integrations in place, did it? Which was obviously lagging so far behind the consumer world, whereas you quite rightly say all 300 apps or whatever you had on your phone integrated not only with natively the Android or Apple systems, but also many times with each other. And it's taken a long time to get up to speed, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think there was a ridiculous level of paranoia that unless you walled gardened everything. I mean, I think the reason Apple walled garden is that it was a quality control thing. They wanted to make sure that this awesome single button device actually worked when things happened. And I think it was a great one. Obviously, they also have enjoyed the 30% of everything that goes on as well.
Yeah, that helps.
But you and I were the first to be agreeing over lunches or whatever back in the day that actually the bright CRMs, which is where it all sort of resides, it's the single source of truth, is the CRM. And I think they've been horribly slow to the party, and I know why it is. It's because the tech was built back then and it was so big and monolithic, it's very hard to unwind, and I know that go on.
I think you had a combination of massive issues though, didn't you? You had first of all, let's be honest, there was a mindset one, and you'll just forgive me, I'm just checking the terms of my my contract with Repit and departure to what I can and can't say. But there really was that, everyone wanted the CRMs wanted to control everything there. For various reasons. And then, as you said before, there simply wasn't very easily the ability to integrate it. So both of those actually led to them almost forced to have the position that actually they were very, very defensive. And that caused a complete split between the clients that wanted this integration and obviously the CRMs that found it very difficult to provide that.
Yeah. And I think that there was paranoia that, you're charging fees and somehow or other, someone's going to create this, complete product over here. They've just sucked the data out and suddenly you're cut out of the thing. And why do we need you? Yeah. But I think that, it's now become quite clear that we do need something at the center. You know, I mean, one of the biggest nightmares that all the prop tech guys have, you know, as part of the sell-in is, one, how hard it is for people to trial things when every time you say something to someone, they go, does it integrate with Reaper? Does it integrate with Vibra? Does it integrate with, you know, Radar? Whatever it is, the answer has typically been no. And in some cases, it's going to be no for a number of years. But also from a customer, from an agent point of view, it's hard enough training people how to use tools as it is, you know? So you want that reporting in a single place. What I have found recently, because data is becoming a lot more sort of portable, is that, you know, there's all sorts of really cool, you know, products coming out that are actually creating some amazing dashboards, doing some very powerful things, which is using a bit of CRM stuff, but also a whole bunch of other, you know, feeds from different products. And I think that's where it's getting quite exciting. But ultimately, I think that, you know, the attitude is changing. Agents are beginning to see the power of these different bits of, you know, features, functionalities, content, whatever it is. I mean, video alone, you know, just being able to video from your phone and almost dynamically know it's going to appear on your website. Or as I experienced this week, which was a lot of fun, just to give Kerfuffle a bit of a big up. You know, where are your video reviews, Ben? Oh shit, you know, bam, couple of comments out, and suddenly I'm sat here, you know, almost blushing, you know. And I didn't have to call you and go, hey man, I just got these. Will you put them on your website? Please, just click of a button, approval by the high chief, and bam, they're there. And, you know, 3 proud moments kind of thing. And that is web app experience for me.
It's very important that they get the approval of the high chief. Can you imagine asking for video testimony from Simon Wales' client?
Yeah, I was worried. Someone called me and said, I can't see them there. And I was like, is he going to approve these? Are they too glowing? Or...
You don't have to worry. Whilst the pubs are closed, there's not an issue. When they're open again, there's a backlog of 200 waiting for me to go yay or nay. That's a problem.
But I think that genuinely is the difference, though, with video testimonials, is that it's harder. They say that sincerity is the hardest thing to fake, but you can do it in writing every day. I mean, we all do. Yeah. We're polite to people we don't want to be polite to, and we say thank you for things we're very ungrateful for. So, but on video, it comes across more genuine, and it's harder to fake it, so that when people do leave you genuinely glowing reviews on video, it seems natural, it seems believable.
Yeah, and I love that. I think it's absolutely, because it's real, isn't it? Everything about it is real, and it's current, and everything about it.
You glean so much more as well, don't you, from literally a 1 minute, 2 minute. I think it was the way I was looking at it from was on there was some research done in the States, but it was across all industries, and it showed that over the last decade the length of reviews, written reviews, has reduced by 70%, and it's actually much more closely now, unsurprisingly, reflecting the length of a tweet, you know, to 80 or whatever it is characters. So if that's the basis of this, it's soundbite city, isn't it? You get far more out of a video than you ever can from a written. There's still a place for written, but you know the reason that YouTube was bought by Google was not because it was particularly profitable. It was just the way that it was the video was going, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And now they've got the next problem on the block is our next favorite video channel is TikTok, which has just gone through the roof. I mean, literally, it's gone through the roof. You know, originally
you were a fairly early adopter.
I was an early adopter. I mean, my brother and I did our Christmas card was rather embarrassing, but a bit of fun. But you know, I think it moved on quite quickly from you had to sing or dance to all sorts. I mean, now it's such a variety, and it's. What I read something literally yesterday on it, and I thought it was a really interesting thing, and it's sort of in line with this whole video review thing, which is people are posting stuff up, you know, trying to make people smile, particularly in lockdown. It's been prevalent, you know, and you've got famous people, you've got people who are becoming famous, you've got people doing things for charity, you've got all the NHS nurses and, you know, just being funny and builders and all the rest of it. The moment anyone's sentiment is, you know, you idiot, you're embarrassing, suddenly there's a wall of other people going, you don't belong on this platform, go somewhere else. So it's really nice to have some social media where suddenly, I mean, I'm sure, you know, they do have their problems and they do have, you know, people jumping in, doing some dodgy stuff, but on the whole, it's a really positive spirit. And I think that's great, you know.
Yeah, it is. That's really interesting, though. Do you see TikTok going the way as almost every social media platform? It's the, you know, a new social media platform comes out, Instagram, or in this case, TikTok. Let's be honest, it's adopted by the kids and the cool people there, and then it naturally matures in the way that I suppose you could allege that obviously Twitter certainly has. There's even Facebook, which started off very much personals, moving very business-like. Do you see that even for something as mad as TikTok being relevant in a business sense?
Well, I think what's been cool about TikTok is, you know, the bit you're talking about is when they start monetizing, basically. Yeah. So all these crazy ideas start off being, you know, just free for all, everything's free, do whatever you want, and you go, what's the actual financials behind this?
Yeah.
It's the business model.
Now?
No, I'm not. I totally get this one. This one is you sneaky bugger. You know, yeah. But no, I mean, the reality is that I think they've clocked it early. I think the people behind it have gone, you can advertise a brand and you can be fun. It doesn't need to be some cliched, high budget, you know, Apple advert. But it can be someone doing something crazy, wearing their AirPods, you know, in a sort of, you know, Red Bull extreme kind of manner or lunatic way or whatever. So it's engaging with audiences in a very human way. So there's kind of no rules really. And I think that, so they'll just make money. You know,
it's hard coding and on every social platform, the key is to go viral, isn't it? And more than anything else, it's easy to do that on TikTok, isn't it?
It is. You literally, I cannot believe it. And you know what I love about it? And to be honest, David, the main reason that I started getting hooked on it is, you know, whilst we're on the subject of video, one of the worst parts of video is that shocking royalty-free music that goes with everything. It's so horrible that literally I just continuously go, no, 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 no. Hence, we wrote some awesome music for Simon, his own theme tune. But, you know, the beauty of TikTok is what it was actually called. It pivoted from Musical.ly. And it was just music. So you go on there and you can literally type any word, you know, free valuation, hypothetically, and there'll be 10 songs with the words free valuation in it, you know.
But you know, on the whole, you don't see anybody really sort of weaponizing it properly for business in the same way that you see them using sort of Instagram or Facebook. But then one day I came across this butcher. I can't remember what his handle is, but it was fascinating. He was just showing the difference between, I don't know, how to cut
meat,
cut that and cut this. But instantly I thought, oh wow, this guy is if I were to buy another piece of meat, it'd be from this guy who knows what he's doing. And I think everybody can use that platform in that way. Yes, it's a very fun and engaging thing, and all of us want to see 100 Simon Wales jiggling their bits about and dancing.
God, I love it.
Who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
But I think if you can sort of, I've been trying to sort of think of ways that estate agents might be able to use that. And I think the other thing is that when you look at the sort of cross section of users on any platform, for me, Facebook is the most universal in as much as it's got a lot of grandmothers on it, and then the middle generation. The younger, so my daughter's generation, if you're on Facebook, it's like saying you're on MySpace.
It's Snapchat or nothing, really. It's Snapchat or TikTok, isn't it?
Correct, yeah. And so I think you probably need to, you need to sort of get into the habit of duplicating your content across different platforms.
You do.
And if you just fancy an argument, then you just use Twitter.
Yeah, and if you're really just wanting to wind people up, you put a rather crazy TikTok in LinkedIn.
Oh, right.
LinkedIn has got to be all very sober and a bit boring. And so suddenly when I see a sort of wall of Simon Wales going like that, it's like great. You know,
I find LinkedIn so irritating in as much as it's everybody's a guru, everybody is a thought leader. Everybody's advising you that in every video that you shouldn't be selling, you should be helping, and you should be reaching out, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I think it's in itself. I think if you look at, I look at a lot of Chris Watkins stuff, and he goes into detail about what a LinkedIn algorithm likes. So for instance, it doesn't like likes and shares; it likes comments.
Yeah. I mean, there is an argument that it's a good Chris Watkins scam, isn't it? Whatever you do, just keep writing in my post, over and over again, liking and commenting, and keep copying people in. Never leave here. And when I'm famous and I'm on my yacht, I'll send you a quid.
We've exposed you here today, Watkins. We see you, Watkins.
We're all going with it, though.
This is why I like Ben. He sees beyond what the rest of us see.
Can I just let me just read out, David, on their website how Starberry describe themselves, because I think this always says a lot. And it says Starberry is a decentralized constellation of digital creatives and tech gurus whose mission is to create awesomeness and deliver results for our clients and their customers in real estate, prop tech, property finance, and many others. I mean, for me, that just nailed it.
Don't stop. I'm almost there. Keep going.
Are you knocking me off this channel now after that?
No, I am. You know, I'm your biggest fan in terms of everything else. We got our first question here, actually, Ben. We got it from Rob. Hi, Rob. He says, let's just show that up. He says, do you find an agent's mindset needs to change towards understanding the importance of clean data that can then be actioned? That's a really good one.
I love that one, Rob. I absolutely love that one, because that was actually something that once we finished talking about TikTok, I actually wanted to get back to the web app, and the web app is very much sits in this world, because, the reality is you got your CRM, you've got your forms on your website. You've got to keep capturing data. Don't keep asking for the data over and over again. So one of the big breakthroughs, it's not a breakthrough, it's a no-brainer, but everyone who's got a website out there, put this in there, which is, let me log in. I said, we're going to do this for you too, by the way. Let me log in with my Gmail, my Facebook. Yeah. I'm in. So don't ask me for my name, my telephone number, my email address again. But from now on, ask for more data. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the more data you've got, the more fun that everyone can start having. And not only the businesses, the customer can start getting better and better, more accurate information. People just ask, estate agents. I mean, you tell me, David, whether this is true. Do people just ask, what area are you looking in? How much money have you got? Is it a two-bedder? Is that about it? Or do people go, have you got a dog? Are you married and divorced?
Can we have I've got a medical report that's been done in the last couple of months. No,
yeah.
But
I think COVID friendly?
So really good estate agents have been asking correct data, because I think CRM providers will tell you, look, our software is amazing, but if you don't populate it, it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
So get that info. And I think one of the things that managers will drum into their staff is that you've got to ask the right questions. It also enables the agent to be able to sell additional services. So, for instance, if you're asking, are they on the market? Do they require evaluation? It then triggers a whole load of other actions. Have you got a mortgage yet? If not a problem, madam. You can talk to Jack over here. He's going to sort. So it's important for those reasons alone. But I think that there are a lot of people that weren't asking those questions. Now, if COVID has left us with one legacy, it may be that you need to ask questions before you just agree to show anybody a house. So you first of all have to ask medical questions now, which it still feels odd to be asking somebody whether they feel okay, if they have any particular, are you vulnerable, Ben?
Yeah.
Have you been abroad in the last 40?
I haven't left my valley in 12 weeks.
Excellent, Ben. Thank you to all of our guests. Fantastic here. We'll find it out, and we'll be replaying everywhere as well. So fantastic. Thank you again. Have a great week.
Yeah, all the best. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.